In the beginning, there was darkness. Hi. Um, my journey, I feel, began a long time ago before I found my path. And I think the first instance of being on a journey of discovery was having that primitive fear as a child, small child, of darkness, of the dark. In particular, my nan's house in Beresford Road in Southend had this small, narrow alleyway next to it, which I used to dread going past. I mean, absolute dread, even if I was with other people. And my nan's house as a child, where I lived for a while as well, had a dark atmosphere, and I never understood as a small child why. As a, I don't know, I think 10, 11 years old, my eyes were opened a little bit more, which kind of, I'll always look back on being my reason for exploring what I've explored and finding myself here now, and perhaps always having been walking this path, but I had to find out certain things before I got here. I mean, my fear of the dark as a child, as a youth, was very strong. It was very strong. I mean, when I was at school, like a teenager, I mean, my best friend lived on the other side of some woods, and he used to have to sort of like see me through the woods, which was kind of silly to look back on in a way now, but it's only because I've come to understand that you can sense things, and you know that there are negative forces out there, which in my journey, what I've done is conquered it, but I also understand that it is out there. And I think what I notice perhaps more and more these days is that people aren't given the belief, the self-belief, the empowerment to protect themselves from negative energy, because it is out there. It does want to latch onto you. It does want to bring you down. And in a time where I think society has become so much more negative, not so much negative, there's a lot of hope in some ways as well, but I feel strongly about this, that a lot of people are vulnerable to negative energy. You can call them spirits, dark forces, and no one knows how to, well, very few people know how to protect themselves from these dark energies. And I think to some extent it's why a lot of people are suffering from sort of depression, and because that's the sort of energy that these dark forces will latch onto and bring you down, make life hard for you. It's not easy dealing with it. I mean, what's worked for me isn't necessarily going to work for anyone else. Again, as it's something I'll probably say countless times, is your journey is your journey, and it's up to you to find out what works for you. I do put a lot of stock in practices like meditation and controlling your energy fields. I mean, some people call them auras or chakras. Some people might call it magic, or it's empowerment through belief in a particular faith. I could go on for a long time about that. I'm not going to. But I found in my journey that once I reached the point of investigating and looking into how you can control your own aura and power, that once I sort of was able to shield myself, close myself down and protect myself, that the darkness became less of something to fear. I gained control of it, and I've been stronger for it since then. Sometimes you have to re-energize and look after yourself, and I try to sort of do this to protect my home, and that's changed slightly since finding a Sartre, in the fact that I've appealed to Odin and the land wights, spirits, to assist in this protection. So that's something I'll look into, to sort of see how that progresses. I'm confident that my own personal energy is good enough, but extra help in friendship, in a union, is always better. What I will say as a ending to sort of this short amble through my thoughts is, there's a film that really hit the nail on the head on what I experience with dark energies, and I'm not sure that it's a very popular film or it's a really successful film, but it's called Odd Thomas. And while it's not exactly what I see or feel, it comes close to the mark. So it's a film I highly recommend. It just really hits home on a subject that probably too many people aren't really aware of, may not believe in, it's fair enough, but are vulnerable to, and I think might be a reason why, even outside of a pandemic, that more and more people are struggling with their mental health because they're vulnerable and don't know how to get the help that actually we can all provide for ourselves. Anyway, cheers. Bye.